Yeah. Om Arunam Karunatarangitakshim Drutapashankushapushpabana chapam Animadibhiravrutam Mayukhaihi Ahamityeva Vibhavaye Bhavani. Om Sri Matre Namaha. Harihi Om. Harihi Om, everybody. We are doing Saundarya Lahari, Shankaracharya Virachita Saundarya Lahari. Today we are at the 82nd shloka. This is talking about Uru, means thighs. And then again the knees also. Both of them Shankaracharya is describing in the shloka. Let us chant the shloka together. Karindranam Shundan Kanaka Kadali Kanda Patalim Ubhabhyam Urubhyam Ubhayamapi Nirchitya Bhavati Suvruttabhyam Patyuhu Pranati Katinabhyam Girisute Vidhigne Janubhyam Vibudha Karikumbhatvayamasi. Here the Sambodhana, the pronunciation, mother is calling mother as Girisute, means, oh mountain's daughter, king of mountain's daughter, Himavat Parvataraja Putrika. That is the Sambodhana. And then now the thighs are compared with two things. One is Karindranam Shundan. Kari means elephant. Karindranam means great elephant. Shundan means trunk, like the elephant trunk. So that is how your urus are, means thighs. And then second example is giving is Kanaka Kadali Kanda Patalim. Kanaka means gold. Kanda Patalim, Kadali Kanda Patalim. Kadali means a banana. That's why we say Kadali Phalam. When we offer to God banana fruit, it is called Kadali Phalam. And then it looks like even gold, actually we cannot compare, but he's just giving us the comparison. That's all. Why? Mind needs support. Mind needs alambana. Then only it can grasp. Otherwise, abstract, Nirguna Nirakara Parabrahma, mind cannot grasp. That's only experience. That is why this is all Saguna Brahma Upasana. In Vedic terms, that is what it is called. So two examples are given, two supports for the mind. And then, but is it that's all? No. That's why second line saying, Ubhabhyam Urubhyam, both of them, Uru means thighs, Ubhayamapi Nirjitya Bhavati, both of them are defeated or much more than rejected than those two examples, the elephant trunk and then the golden stem of that banana tree. Both of them Nirjitya Bhavati means much more than that, rejected. So that is what the basically the thighs. Why they cannot give, according to Lalita Sahasranama, what they say Kame Sajnata Saubhagyam Martha Vordvayanvita. Only Kamesha knows. Kamesha means Lord Shiva, because they are hidden in the under the sari. See, hands, feet, and then the nails, fingers, all those we can see, but not the thighs and knees. That is why only Kamesha knows, Shiva, Lord Shiva knows. That's how in Lalita Sahasranamam, Vashinyadi Vagdevatas, Vashini, Kameshwari, Modini, Vimala, Aruna, Jaini, Sarveshwari, Kaulini, those devatas were describing. And Brahmanda Purana, the Vyasa Bhagavan was talking the same thing, same namam, Kamesha Jnata Saubhagya Mardavoru Dvayanta. Uru means thighs. But Shankaracharya was not happy. He wants to, it's trying to give us example. But we need to think this is the worldly example, but mother's thighs are much more than that. So first two lines are covered, the thighs. Now third and fourth line is about mother's knees. Janu means knees. Now, Suvruttabhyam patyuhu pranati katinabhyam girisute. Girisute is the Sambodhana. We already saw that. Suvruttabhyam. Vruttam means circle. Suvruttam means they are very beautifully in circle, beautifully formed, beautiful in the circle way. But what then he's giving another adjective. What is that? Pranati katinabhyam. They are very hard, oh mother. Why they became very hard? Because mother is a pativrata. Mother is Shiva Para, Sada Shiva Pativrata. She always think about Lord Shiva, and whenever he comes to the palace, whenever he comes to the Manidvipam, Chintamani Gruham, she always prostrates to Lord Shiva. That's why they became very hard, oh mother. Another catchy point here is, for ladies, it's only Panchanga Namaskaram. For men, they can do Sashtanga Namaskaram, means 8-limb Namaskaram. For ladies, why? Means only 2 knees and then hands, and the 2 of them, right? Then hands and head. That's what they touch. That chest and that stomach, they won't touch to the earth. Why? Because that's what the earth, Vasumati, Vasundhara wanted, asked Brahmaji, because she is also a woman, lady. And then women, ladies have a capacity to produce and become mother. I don't want those mothers to touch me, because they are very auspicious, very, very sacred. That is how ladies can do only pancha anga, means only 5 limbs. They do the namaskaram. Men can do all the way danda pramanam. They can all the way flat. The ashtanga namaskaram. Ashtanga means 8 limbs. That's how men are supposed to do. So that's this is the really rahasyam. That is why these are all, we need to take the inner meaning. We should never think that Shankaracharya is describing the thighs and the knees, not like that. There are inner meanings in this one. In that, we need to meditate on mother's form. And now let us see why she is prostrating, why she is salutating Lord Shiva. Vidhigne janubhyam vibudha kari kumbhadvayamasi. Vidhigne, oh mother, you know Shastras, you know Vedas, you know scriptures. You know what to do, what not to do. You know that because you are great Pativrata. That is why you are doing that. Because you are the Vidhigne, because you know the Sampradayam. Because Sampradayeshwari, all the cultures, traditions, you know that. That's why you are doing that. And then the Janubhya means 2 of them. Janu means knees. That is why even when they have the knee surgery or knee pain, they say meditate on this shloka. Then they become hard. Even the healing will be very fast, very quick. This is very good for that. Janubhyam, because 2 of them, that's why they are using Janubhyam. Vibudha, and then how they these Janus are Vibudha Kari Kumbhadvayamasi. Kari means elephant. Vibudha Kari, there is another adjective. See, Shankaracharya is a great poet, Kavi, Tattvaveta, Jnani, Bhakta. Everything personified, put together is Lord Bhagavan Shankaracharya. See, those words are so beautiful, not only chanting. Vibudha Kari Kumbhadvayam means that Airavatam, Jnana, Airavatam stays in with Lord Indra Bhagavan in Svargalokam. He's comparing with that elephant. Kumbhatvayam means that on the top of the trunk. See, Janu, Urus, they compared with the trunk because they are long. See how beautiful. Now, Janu, the knees are compared with the Kumbhatvayam. Yenu Kumbha means the top of the elephant. That's where that is what Kumbhadvayam we call Kumbha. Vibhudakara Kumbhadvayamasi. That is how your knees are, oh mother. See, this is the beautiful for picturization, meditation. That is why we are going elaboration in meaning. Each shloka should just stay in our heart. You can meditate on that. And then we can develop the connection. Wow, mothers, this is, even when we see the elephant, we can feel that, oh, mothers, when we see the trunk, oh, they are mothers' thighs. Then the Kumbhatvayam, then we should feel mothers' janus, the knees. See, that's why this is for the connection. Location we have seen, connection and visualization, and then we can do meditation. And how about in Lalita Sahasranamam? They said, Manikya Makutakara Janu Dvaya Virajita. Janu means again the knees, Dvaya means two. They compared with Manikya Makutakara. Makuta means crown. They are like a crown, the crown is like this on the top of the head, like that, the front portion filled with all the studs, beautiful gems, beautiful stones, not the gems, now the word is scary, the stones, and then how the top is look like this, right? That's how they compared. But Shankaracharya was not happy. He's giving more details. See how beautiful shloka it is. And then Sambodhana is also. So now I gave you almost all the meaning. And then now let us chant the shloka together. Karindranam Shundan Kanaka Kadali Kanda Patalim Ubhabhyam Urubhyam Ubhayamapi Nirjitya Bhavati Suvruttabhyam Patyuhu Pranati Katinabhyam Girisute Vidhigne Janubhyam Vibudha Karikum Bhadvayamasi. That is why in this shloka, thighs and knees, both of them are referred. This is the beautiful shloka. Mother's beautiful form Shankaracharya ji is giving. And now this one is again, this is the Shakti Kutami. According to mantra, from waist to feet, it is Shakti Kutami. From throat to waist, it is Kamaraja Kutami. We have finished that part. And then the head to throat, that is Vagbhava Kutami. That also we have seen already. Now we are at the Shakti Kutami. Now the Pranavaksharam, Bijaksharam is Om. And then Hreem. Because this is a Bhuvaneshwari mantram talking about universal mother. And then they have become very good at crossing over on water. Means they will be very good with swimming. When to swim, they need to have strong knees and strong thighs. That is why even physical therapy, they say, they do the swimming. They are water aerobics. So that even if we cannot do, if we chant this one, all the pain will be gone. They become very strong. That's why it's very important for ladies to have both of them very strong. That is why even for deliveries also, that's very important too. To at the when they having the babies. This is the results of the chanting of the shloka. And the offering, we are seeing that offering is coconut and banana. Most of them are very simple offerings. People get scared of we need to prepare a lot of big items. It is not easy, all that they think. See how easy, just coconut and offer it, and then that's all. That's the 82nd shloka. Now 83rd shloka. This is about Janghamu, again Padam. Jangha means, in Sanskritam, Jangha here is calf muscle. Now we are coming below knees. See, everything is described for us to meditate. Now let us chant the 83rd shloka. And Pada Nakhagram means the feet nails. Nakha means nails. Both of them are described. 83rd shloka. Parajetum rudram द्विगुण शरगर्भौ गिरिसुते निशङ्गौ जङ्घेते विषमविशिखो बाढमकृता यदग्रे दृश्यन्ते दशशरफलापादयुगळी नखाग्रच्छत्मान सुरमकुटशाणैकनिशिताः. Again, Sambodhana is Girisute, O daughter of the mountain king, the Himavat Parvata Raja. And then now this one, let me give you the picturization before we enter into the shloka. Then you can visualize and it's easier. See, what happens is Manmadha is always wanted to defeat Lord Shiva because he got burned from Phalagni, the third eye from Lord Shiva. That's why he always wanted to take the revenge on Lord Shiva. And we are all seeing this before, but I will remind you again. There are two meanings behind this. One is all Devatas provoked him to disturb Lord Shiva. Why? Because he's a Kama Devata, Lord of the desire. And then that is all the gods requested him. That is the purpose he went there, to disturb Lord Shiva's tapas. And one more thing is, when all the lords, Devatas asked him, the ego propped up on him. Isn't it? It happens if somebody, great people, asks us, the ego that spirit, like a splinter, it comes out. Wow, I'm so great. See, that's how one Manmadha felt. Shiva Bhagavan, he knows because he's in everybody's heart. He noticed that. Then he said, I should destroy that ego. That is why through Pala Netragni means the third eye, he destroyed Manmadha. Since then, Manmadha had that feeling, I should somehow or other, I should defeat Lord Shiva. In the next shloka also it comes. That is why if I tell now, if I remind you now, I don't need to explain later. And then, so that's why now he wants to go for a war. See, that is the picturization Shankaracharya is giving, because he studied, he knows all the Puranas. Now let us see with this background, listen to this shloka and see the meaning. Now, what is that? Parajetum Rudram. Rudram means Lord Shiva. Parajetum means to defeat. To defeat Lord Shiva, Manmadha is getting ready. That's how you need to visualize. Then, what is he doing? Dviguna Shara Garbhau Girisute. He's telling mother, oh mother, this is how it happened. What happened? Dviguna Shara Garbhau means he wanted to make double the amount of Shara means arrows. So let us say, for example, Shiva has 5 arrows. He wanted to, actually Manmadha had only 5 arrows. But he wanted to make a double because he's a Kama Devata, right? How he can disturb Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandha with the sound, with the touch, with the smell, and Sparsha, Rupa with form, Gandha, smell. All these we get disturbed. That's how we get the desires. Isn't it true? We listen something, then desire props up. We smell something, let us say pakodas, example. That smell comes, oh, I want to eat that pakoda, merpakai bhaji, that came. See, who is doing that? Kama Devata. Disturbance, see? And then touch, wow, the ladies' touch or men's touch or the sweet fragrance, lotion or, oh, wow, I want to buy that. Who is doing that? Manmadha. All these, then form, I saw it, that beautiful gold necklace, diamond necklace. I want to buy that. See, then we look for the sales or collect money, secure money, save money. See, the thought, who is doing that? Lord Manmadha. That is why he had only 5. Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasagandhas, sound, touch, form, and then smell. And then hearing is again, we hear through somebody, wow, there is a great sale, Thanksgiving sale, let's go. See, that's why then he wanted to make it double. Dviguna Sharagarbhau. Oh, mother, this is why he wanted to do. Then what did he do? Nishangau Janghete. That is how mothers, see, he's bringing that point to describe that calf muscle. Even when you look at it after the shloka, I was also observing. Then I said, wow, how great Shankaracharya is. Exactly, it looks like that. If you take it from the knees to calf muscle, for all the way to feet, it looks like that knees and then along. It looks like a query. Ambula podi means query. You know, in English, it is called where they keep the arrows. And janghe, that is what? Calf muscle. Te means, oh mother, yours. Vishama vishiko badhama kruta. Vishama means odd number. He had odd number. Vishiko means that arrows. So that Dviguna Sharagarbhau, where they keep that arrows, that is called Ambulapodi query in English. So that is why he made it double. How did he made it double? Now this is the one. We saw the calf muscle. Now let us see. So we'll go to 4th line. Then it will make a beautiful meaning. Nakhagrachatmana surama. That is why we'll take that part. Nakha means the nails. That, you know, which nails? The feet nails. Pada yugali nakhagrachatmana. Not only one feet. Yugali means dual. Both feet. Nakha means nails. And then he took those as though they are like arrows. See, he wants to describe, he wants us to mind to absorb beautiful examples, beautiful supporters for the mind. And then how are they? Those nails. Suramakuta Shanaika Nishite. See, for us, we need to go for manicure, pedicure to make it nice and sharp. Universal Mother, how they are so sharp and beautiful. Why? Sura Makuta. Sura means all devatas. All devatas are salutating, prostrating to Mother every day. They are coming to Manidvipam and Chintamani Gruham. Why? To get the energy, to get recharged, to get refilled, to do their best, whatever their job is. All their Digdevatas, Varuna Devata, Kubera, Treasury Department, Indra Bhagavan, Vishnu Bhagavan, all of them. So then they can do their job best. They are coming for Mother's blessings. And then what happened? Makuta, when they're salutating, prostrating, their makutam means their crowns. Then while they are doing that, Shanaika Nishitaha, through that only Mother's nails got polished. Why? They are also ordinary crowns. They're filled with all the beautiful, studded with beautiful gems, you know, that's why. Beautiful stones. With that stones, all those got polished. See how beautifully he's describing, you know, that's remembering the Mother's greatness, because she's the universal Mother. That is how whole, now he described the calf muscle, and then that is how all the Manmadha kept his all the arrows, and then all the arrows have the sharp end at the end. If you, all of you have must seen the arrows, how they became sharp is Because of all these, devatas are salutating mother. That's how they became very sharp. Oh, mother. Beautiful way he's keeping us. In Lalita Sahasranama, Vashinyadi Vakdevata said, Indra Gopa Parikshipta Smaratuna Bhajangika. They also said the calf muscle, but they are said Smaratuna Bham. Means they are like Manmadha's arrow, then like a query, but they didn't give us the description. See, they just left it in one namam. Now that is why these two go parallel. Once we hear Lalita Sahasranamam and then Saundarya Lahari, this whole thing is like a package. It's a package deal. Then we can understand better. We can connect to Universal Mother better. So this is the description, beautiful way. So now let me chant the whole shloka together. Parajetum rudram Dviguna-shara-garbhau girisute Nishangau janghete Vishama-vishiko badhamakruta Yadagre drusyante Dashashara-phala pada-yugali Nakagrachadmana Suramakuta-shanaika-nishitaha. Badham Akruta, I'm sure this is how it happened, oh mother. There is no doubt in my mind. That is how I see you, oh mother. See that, see, never doubt these shlokas for our meditation, for our visualization. Location we have seen calf muscle and then feet nails, pada yugali nakhas. And then now let us see the here also Om and Sum, both of the Bijaksharas, and then they will get them, they will become like a, if they chant the shloka, meditate on the shloka, the result is Gaja Turaga Vasham. Gaja means elephants, Turaga means horses. Means they can control. That's what in Nakula Sahadevas had that capacity. In Pandavas, 5 brothers, Dharmaraja, Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula Sahadeva, they have that capacity. They were able to control the animals. That is why when they went to Virat Rajpuru, that palace, that's what they were doing. That's why they get the capacity. Here, you can think, what do I gain now in these days? I don't have any pets. I don't have to do the job. What is in it for me? Now we need to take the inner meaning. Means that animal tendencies, outgoing tendencies, means animalistic attitudes, animalistic thoughts to destroy somebody, to kill somebody. We may not kill, but the ill thoughts about other people. That's what, then they will not have those. They will have the control over the negativity, negative thoughts. That's how we need to take. And then offering is bellam payasam. Payasam means milk pudding made out of jaggery, cow milk, and jaggery means the brown sugar. Yes, and then honey is the offering. And then chanting, I'm telling so many times, most of them they were saying 45 days and 1,000 times, but depend on our desire, how much negativity we have, depend on that. We can chant as many times as we want. So we can memorize the shloka also and picturize the shloka also. And then before shloka also, for the knees, as many times as we want, we can chant. So that's why it's a beauty is each shloka we can take it. It takes only 30 seconds. If we know very well, it takes only 30 seconds to chant one shloka. So that way we get practice too. Now 84th. From 84th to 90, all these shlokas are remembering, describing about mother's feet. Eyes also, we have seen almost all 8 to 10 shlokas are described. Here also about the feet, described almost all 8 to 10 shlokas, 84 to 90, those shlokas. And then why? That is how the form we need to get asakti. And Feet, we need to get ashrayam. Ashrayam means surrender. That is why they are very important. Asakti means we need to, why the eyes, we need to have asakti, because mother's compassion is there. Arunam karuna tarangitakshim. That eyes are filled with, mother is embodiment of compassion. That's why even Sri Krishna says, Maya sakta mana pardha yogam yunjan madashrayaha. Maya sakta mana pardha. Asakti, keep the mind in me. Do yoga. Mada ashrayaha. Take refuge, take surrender into me. Here also take surrender to mother's feet. So beautiful shloka. Let us chant 84th shloka. Shrutinam murdhano dadhati tavayau shekharataya. Shrutinam murdhano dadhati tavayau shekharataya. Mamapyetau matah shirasi dayaya dhehi charanau. Yayopadyam patah Pashupati jata juta tatini. Yayor laksha lakshmihi aruna hari chuda maniruchihi. This is the most beautiful. This is, at least memorize the shloka. We were talking about the 57th shloka before, and 27th shloka most important, and 75th shloka. In the same way here, this one is most beautiful and very important shloka. Now, beautiful examples Shankaracharya ji is giving about mother's feet. How are they? Shrutinam murdhano. Shrutinam means Vedas. Murdhano means siras, the top portion. Even on our head, in our body also, shiras, the head is top. That's where jnanam, that's how we get the knowledge. Storage, knowledge storage is our brain, head. Through that's why IT department is on our head. That's why it is called Vagbhava Kutami. Shrutina murdhano dadhati tavayau shekaratayam. Then Vedas are holding mother's feet on the top of their head. And then Vedas are describing about mother. That is why Shekharataya means like a flower. See, beautiful way describing. Even that's why Shruti Simanta Sinduri Krita Padabja Dhulika. Even Vedas could not describe mother. They prostrated to mother. That is how that on their Sinduram means their papadi, that side portion, that mother's feet dust, or that parani, that kunkuma went onto that Veda Matas. So all these Vedas, and the Vedas essence is Upanishads. Mother, they are describing about mother's glory. That is why you are the flower, you are the crown, you are the head of all these Vedas. That is two meanings we took. And then now second line we will come back, because then only we will appreciate the shloka. We'll go to third line. How are those feet, oh mother? He's telling to mother. Then yayo padyam pathaha. Yayoho means those feet. Padyam pathaha. Pathaha, that water to do abhishekam. The water, where that water is coming from? Pashupati jata juta tatini. Pashupati means Lord Shiva's. Jata juta means matted locks. Tatini means Ganga Devi, that water is coming from Ganga Jalam. Because Ganga, Mother Ganga stays on Lord Shiva's matted Jata jutam. When even Lord Shiva is prostrating to mother, before mother was doing, because they both are equal, they never have competition, or they work together. beautiful message for husband and wife. Here, Lord Shiva is prostrating. When prostrating, then that Ganga Janam was coming to mother's feet as though doing Abhishekam. See how beautiful it is. And then last line, fourth line is Yayor Laksha Lakshmi Aruna Hari Chuda Mani Ruchihi. Yayoho means those feet. Laksha Lakshmi means they are having that parani, means lattuka. And now what is that redness on mother's feet? Aruna Hari Chuda Mani Ruchihi. Aruna means red color. Harihi means Vishnu Bhagavan. Vishnu Bhagavan is also prostrating mother. And where that redness coming is that Chudamani Ruchihi. Chudamani means that crown jewel. Ruchihi means beautiful. See, when he is prostrating, he wears Kaustubhamani, Chudamani. Some people will say that he's coming from the crown because he has beautiful stones on his crown, or Kaustubhamani. Both descriptions are beautiful. We can take any one of them. Because he wears Kaustubhamani. So that came from a churning of milky ocean. So this is the essence. Now, most important and second is those kinds of feet, those kind that beautiful feet, oh mother, they are not ordinary feet. All Lord Shiva is prostrating. Well, Vishnu Bhagavan is salutating, and then who has Vedas? Chaturmukha Brahma we call. He has 4 heads, and he that is representation of 4 Vedas: Ruk, Yajus, Sam, Atharvana Vedas. So now Brahmaji is also salutating. So, but now we have to see second line. Mama Pieto Mataha. Mataha is the Sambodhana. Oh mother, Talli. Shirasi Dayaya Tehi Charanau. Oh mother, mama, on me, to me, Shirasi, on my siras means on my head. You should keep those feet. Why he's giving the description to, oh mother, he's telling mother, I know I'm not an ordinary, I'm only ordinary disciple. This is for us. We need to keep ourselves. I need to keep Shyamala, myself, whoever is listening, whoever is watching, whoever is subscribed, they all should keep themselves, their name. Oh mother, I'm a long way. I'm at all the way at the end of your disciples. I know that. That is, I know my weakness. I know that. But still, you are compassionate. Dayaya. What you should do? Dehi charanau. Those feet, charanau. Dehi. Please keep it on my head. So that way, I will be prosper. I will attain a liberation. I will achieve whatever I need in the material life, or if they're great seekers or devotee, they can attain moksha. See, please keep those feet on me. That is why Daviyam Samdinam Snapaya Krupaya Mamapi Shive. He tells, I am Davi, I'm far away. I'm Deenam. I know I am in trouble. I'm very needed for your compassion. But I know you can do it. How he gives the example in 57th shloka, how the sun showers his rays on everything, whether in palace or in the dirty water, or moon rays showers in the rocks and the forest in the same way. Samakara Nipato. I know you treat everybody equal. Otherwise, that name will be, people will think mother is not Samakara, does not have the equanimity. Oh mother, I know you can do it. That's the, this is not requesting. This is like as though like a yachana. He's telling is a qualification, and then keep that with dayaya dehi charanau, those feet. See, that is why when we go to temple, they call a shatagopam. The priest brings that long, the crown shaped one. Usually it is made out of silver. If you observe on the shatagopam, feet are there. After listening to the shloka, meditating on the shloka, when I go to temple, first time I observed this. There are feet, Lord's feet are there. When the priest comes and do the shatagopam on our head, that means we better take it. Even if a priest forget, we better ask the priest to do it. Why? Shirasi dayaya dehi charanau. In that, that action, Universal Mother, or whatever, Lord Balaji, or Kartikeya, or Ganesh Bhagavan, or Mother, Lord Shiva, whatever, whoever is your Ishtadevata, you have to visualize that they are keeping their feet on your head. So that way we will attain liberation, that mind starts to open up. So that is the beauty of this. That's why usually people try to avoid, because they bring a plate and then put the shatagopam. Then, oh, we need to give money. Never hesitate. That is the time if the mother is blessing us. That is how we need to think and offer whatever we can do. It can be 10 paisa, 20, or rupee, $1, or quarter, whatever it is. Money is not important. The thought is important, but we should offer something that time. So this is the essence of the shloka, beautiful one. And now that is why even Annamaya, Brahma kadigina padamu, Brahma mutanedi padamu, Brahma kadigina padamu. What are those feet? Brahma mutanedi padamu. She is the Parabrahma, Brahman. That's what Vedantin says. Parabrahma, Paramatma, Parabrahma Swarupini. Those feet, please, you keep it on my head, oh mother. Aarti is there. That Aarti is very important in devotion, in bhakti. Now let us chant this shloka together, 84th. Sruti namurdhano dadhati tavayau shekharataya mamapyetau matah Shirasi dayaya dehi charanau yayopatyam pathaha Pashupati jata juta tatini yayor laksha lakshmihi Aruna hari chudamani ruchihi. This is dehi. Its stress is there, not dehi. Dehi means asking. He's not asking. Dehi means keep those feet. That is the meaning. So that's the beautiful concept in this 84th shloka. Now we need to know the Bijakshara, and then what do we get, right? Nothing wrong. Whom we ask? Only mother, right? Sam and Hreem is the Bijaksharas, and then the result of this is a Parakaya Pravesham, means entering into other people's body. Here again, we want to take inner meaning. You might have a question, this body itself, I am suffering headache, knee ache, all this, why should I enter into other people's body, right? The inner meaning is Parakaya Pravesha, means understanding other people, understanding their mind, whether it could be husband, mother-in-law, daughter-in-law, daughter, son-in-law, or family members, or society. Understand them, where they are coming from, where they are talking from, and then understand their mind. Everybody will not have a good day every day. They might have a rough day. They might come from a temple also with high frequency. Depend on that. Understand their moods. and act accordingly. That is what Parakaya Pravesham means. And understand our mind too. Enter into our mind, analyze where is it going, where the thoughts are going, where am I, my actions, what am I doing? That's what it is. Then offering is again Pala Paravanam, means milk pudding made out of cow milk and jaggery. Always we have to make cow pudding, means rice pudding, means we have to make with cow milk and jaggery. And then you might sometimes be careful. I'm just giving a cooking tip. What it is, jaggery, when you add, you have to turn off the stove. That heat should be off, then add the jaggery. Otherwise, with the jaggery and the milk together, that might break. That is important. That is why even our people will say, when you add lemon, you turn off the stove, then add lemon. Why? They knew it, that C vitamin, we lose that C vitamin in that lemon when we add it in hot dish. So that is why our people used to say, do not add hot lemon into the hot dish. Then they used to say that they won't give the inner meaning. We will never know, but now that is the reason, and then here also, that's why when we add jaggery, because most of them we are seeing milk pudding, that's why we need to turn off the stove and then add the jaggery, then it will melt. We already chanted the shloka 84, and now we will enter into 85th shloka because we still have time. And then this is also again feet. This is again beautiful shloka. This is let us chant and I will explain. Namo vakam brumo nayana ramaniyaya padayoho tavasmai dvandvaya sphuta ruchirasala kavate asuyatyantam yadabhihananaya spruhayate Pashunamishanah Pramadavanakankelitarave. Here, Devi, oh mother, here really funny way, beautiful way, feet are explained. Namo Vakam Brumo. Namo Vakam means namaskaram. Namaha means namaskaram. Brumaha means I am saying namaskaram to your feet, O mother. Why? He's giving now description. Nayana ramaniyaya padayoho. Nayana means eyes. Ramaniyaya, they are so beautiful to our eyes. They are most beautiful, padayoho, the both feet. That is why I want to prostrate, I want to salutate to you, your feet, oh mother. He is telling mother, because mother is asking him, why do you want to salutate? Because they are nayana ramaniyaya padayoho. Beautiful, most beautiful. I feel joy, I feel happy, I feel bliss. That is the reason. And then Tabasmai Dvandvaya Namaskara Vacham by Dvandvaya means that feet, Dvandva means pair. Both of them Namo Vakam Brumaha. That is continuing. Again, another description, second one. Why Sphuta Ruchi Rasa Lakta Kavate. They are very crystal clear because they are so beautiful, and then they are so soft, and keeping the turmeric and then that lattukarasam parani. That's why it's a shining prakasha swarupam. That is the reason I feel like prostrating, oh mother. That's why the devotees do that. All the devotees do it. And then this is the third line, is a really beautiful one. Asuyatyantam yadabhihananaya spruhayate. Fourth line, we need to take it to Pashunamishanaha somebody was jealous. Asuyatyantam. Asuya means jealousy. Atyantam means superlative degree. Somebody was so jealous of that, oh mother. Then mother asked, who is that person? Shankara. Then Shankaracharya saying, Pashunam Ishanaha. Pashunam Ishanaha means all these Pashunam Pati, Pashupati, Lord Shiva. Oh mother, Lord Shiva is becoming jealous out of that. Why, Shankara, why? Mother is asking again. Then Shankaracharya ji is explaining. Pramadavana kankeli tarave. Pramadavana means Udyanavanam in mother's garden. Kankeli tarave. Tarav means vruksham, means trees. And then Kankeli tarave means Ashoka vruksha. So many Ashoka vrukshas are there. Or some people say Gorinta vruksha means, Gorinta means we pick the leaves. I know in India we do that and then grind it and we keep it on our fingers and then they become red. If we keep for what do you call that? Cones also they sell now. That's what you know what I mean. The word is not coming. Mehendi. So that's what some people say. Kankeli tarave means mehendi tree. And then that tree, when mother is walking on that Udyanavanam in her beautiful the garden, what is happening? Yadabi hananaya spruhayate means the feet are getting touched by mother's feet are touched by to that Ashoka tree. See, here what happens is trees goes or the plants, some plants go by touch. They need touching. Some plant grow very well when they speak, when we speak to them. You know, because they also have life. Even Subhash Chandra Bose did the research and said trees are not jada, they have the life. They are like children. We need to take care of them. This Ashokavana, Ashoka tree, it feels like they need tadanam. Means they need that Ashoka Vruksham is like they need a touch. Then they grow very well. That is how Shankaracharya is describing mother's feet. And then Shiva is thinking that Ashoka tree is getting the tadanam, that touch of the mother's feet. I am not getting that. When do I get it? That's why Shankaracharya, Shiva Bhagavan is thinking, that is why he was jealous of that tree. They are getting that, their mother is touching them, but when would I get that? That's why mother, you know, beautiful concept, beautiful way picturizing. And that's why this shloka. And now let us see the again Ashoka Vanam. That's where mother Sita ji was sitting in when she went to Lanka. That's where Ravana kept her. See the beautiful meaning. Ashoka Vanam. Where there is no shokam, where there is no grief, where there are no afflictions, where there are no sorrows. That's where mother resides. That's where mother stayed. Ashoka Vanam, where shoka means grief. Ashoka means where there is no grief. That's where Ashoka Vanam, that is the inner meaning, beautiful one. And then Valmiki Ramayana, beautiful shlokas are there about that forest. As soon as Hanuman entered in that forest, he knew right away something special is there. My mother is right here, I know. He looked every inch and inch in that Ravana's kingdom, in that Lanka for Sita ji. But he could not find it. Finally, he prayed all the lords. Oh, Surya Bhagavan, oh, Father Vayu Bhagavan, everybody guide me. He realized I did not pray to Lord Sita, Mother Sita ji. That is why she is not revealing herself. Then he prayed to Mother Sita ji. Then he saw that Ashoka Vanam from far. He said, I know mother is right there. I haven't seen that. I looked every inch and inch in Ravana's palace in Lanka. Then he went there. Beautiful description is there about Hanumanji. He was just with the goosebumps, with the joy he entered. Even whole forest was joyous to see Hanumanji. All the flowers, leaves, stems, plants, trees, everybody was so happy to see Hanumanji. And then Hanumanji is happy. He entered into this Ashokavanam, because where there Sitaji is. That is what this Ashokavanam means. Now let us chant this shloka. 85th one. Namo vakam brumo nayana ramaniyaya padayoho tavasmai dvandvaya sputaruchira salakta kavate asuyatyantam yadabhihananaya spruhayate Pashunamishanah Pramadavanakankelitarave. Now we need to see what is the Bijaksharas and then the results of the shloka. Ram is the Bijaksharam. Ram is a representation of Agni, the fire, knowledge. Then Bhuta Badha Nivrutti. Bhuta means all the Panchabhutas, it could take like air, wind, air and fire and water and earthquake, all of them. And then another one is the negative tendencies. Bhuta Pishacha Nikata Nahi Avai. In Hanuman Chalisa also we chant. Means all those pishachas and negative forces, nikata nahi avai, they will not come closer to whoever chant Hanuman Chalisa, or whoever is mother's devotee, or to those devotees, they will never come close, because mother keeps a rakshana valayam, protective. The aura is there, the protective layer will be there on those devotees. That is why they will not have, even they will be destroyed. That is the results of chanting this shloka. And then offering is again pala payasam, milk pudding and honey. And that's what the shloka is. And now I will conclude here. 85th shloka, 82 to 84, 5th, 82, 83, 84 and 85. 4 shlokas we have done in this session. And we will continue. We have only 15 more to go. We will continue slowly, because these are all very important shlokas, last 15, because they are talking about mother's feet. Om Sri Matre Namaha. Harihi Om.
Thank you so much, Shamalaji. Hari Om.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Thank you, Shamalaji.
Thank you, Shamalaji.
And Hari